I came to know about this person through several other people, knowing that I was putting out a storyteller call for comeback stories. And basically, this is sort of the definition of it. And she has worked so hard on this story, and I've driven her probably a little bit crazy. But we have become really close, and I adore her. I'm in awe of her, and I admire, and she's for sure my hero. So, this is our closing story. A closing story for this section of the night. I know we're running a little late. Hoot and Annie is gonna go in flight real soon, but please lean in for this first timer. Beautiful story, and that's all I'm gonna say right now. Please welcome Courtney Downs.
All right, I'm about to bring a little bit of Southeast to the Grandin. They say this is a comeback story, but truth is there was never a point in this story that I ever wanted to come back to. If you're a person that's been in Roanoke for some time, I more than likely asked you to spare $1 or $2 when you walked by one of my encampments under the bridge, or when I was sitting on one of the tables downtown, bundled up in a dirt-stained, raggedy blanket, smoking a cigarette butt that I found on the ground. You might have even seen me walking around Southeast screaming out lyrics to a song only I could hear. Yeah, you know me, you just didn't realize it. I was born to a family tree with root rot from decades of generational curses. My earliest childhood memories were filled with flagrant acts of violence and unspeakable episodes of abuse in every category you can think of. Sprinkle in a dash of neglect, a pinch of abandonment, and you can create the perfect recipe for dysfunction and self-loathing. I'm not going to say there wasn't any love. They did the best that they could, but it wasn't enough. The seeds for my incessant drive to escape reality were planted real early on and took the shape of fantasy and food. As soon as I was left by myself, it was off to binge watch my favorite television shows while eating the cream out of all the Oreos. Television shows like The Facts of Life or Punky Brewster became the yardstick that I measured my life against, and instilled in me a faint belief that there might be hope for a happy ending. At the age of 9, my sister gave me my first drink, a screwdriver. These were the things that brought me comfort. Over the next 2 years, I bounced between two parents, two dysfunctional households, enduring varying degrees of abuse and neglect in each household. At the age of 11, my mother threw me out on the streets of West Palm Beach, Florida. I ended up alone and homeless. I was ushered into a dark world of human trafficking, used as a drug mule. If I wasn't sleeping outside, then I was sleeping in strange men's homes. I wish I could tell you how that felt. However, fear can be elusive. I was so afraid I wasn't afraid. But I was able to disassociate and think about scenes from them sitcoms that I had watched, or sing the theme music to like a different strokes in my head. Trauma just became the norm, just par for the course. Each time school authorities would notice my absence, my mother would come scoop me up and, just long enough until no one was paying attention, and then it was back on the doorstep again. My first encounter with rehab was at the age of 13. If it's true that one is never given more than they can handle, then God must be a sadist. Back then, I was unaware of the truth that I know now. Drugs work until they don't. I got entrenched deeper into a lifestyle that left a layer of grime on my sense of self and eroded my integrity and my dignity. I jumped from one toxic relationship into another, much like my transitions between different drugs, all in pursuit of finding the perfect, sustainable solution that would fix everything. If you were to ask me my drug of choice, I would tell you more. It didn't matter what it was as long as I had more. I just needed to fill that gaping hole in the pit of my stomach. I had a tapeworm of the soul. Needles were a constant presence, injecting a pseudo sense of hope that had eluded me elsewhere. Amid the bleakness of my reality, there were fleeting moments of clarity, though. I'd noticed the overlooked beauty in life, sunlight filtering through the rain-soaked leaves, the caress of a gentle breeze on my sun-scorched skin, the vast expanse of the night sky. Sorry, my papers keep sticking together. These glimpses would stir a restlessness within me, compelling me to seek change and to get clean. Everything changed again when I was 23 and became pregnant with my first son. I met his dad when we were living in a halfway house after a stint in rehab. I thought I was finally going to live out my sitcom dreams, get a fresh start, and create my own little happy family. Yet I soon learned the hard truth behind the adage about relationships and rehabs. Don't. My happy life quickly turned into a horror movie. I was living with Norman Bates, personalities and all. When my son was just 2 weeks old, I made a move back to Virginia. With my tiny disability check and a lot of determination, I became a CNA and an EMT. Story's not over yet. I got an associate's degree in nursing. But unfortunately, I also reunited with Norman Bates for the sequel of Psycho and got pregnant with my second son. All I can say about that is Papa was a rolling stone, except the only stones were the rocks that he was smoking. We imploded once again. With the image of those happy sitcoms in mind, I aimed to provide for my boys as a single income household. I worked tirelessly to provide a stable life for us. Unfortunately, while caring for a challenging patient, I sustained a severe back injury and had a perilous but bittersweet reunion with opioids. Y'all know this story. Alas, we meet again. It was like being reunited with a long-lost love. Eventually, I put the needle back in my arm, and chaos and unmanageability quickly ensued. Over those years, I witnessed the devastating impact of addiction on my friends and my family. It began to erode at the modest achievements that I had made up to then. Despite my efforts to find the right circumstance to rebuild my life, success eluded me. Then I was introduced to meth. Meth was a plot twist I'd never seen coming. My love of meth resulted in losing everything that I held dear. I lost my children, my relationship, my home, my car, my career, and along with them, my dignity and self-respect and will to live. My grief was palpable, a tangible force that seemed to erode at my very sense of being. The institutions I was then committed to recognized my need for further assistance, but with limited options available, they sent me on a 4-hour journey by cab, Medicaid cab, leaving me at the intersection of Dale Avenue and 4th Street, right in front of the Roanoke Rescue Mission. Life in Roanoke presented to be a struggle right from the start. The city became a canvas for my suffering. I relinquished my grip on reality. I weathered winter's fury, huddled, sheltered under a porch of an abandoned house. Risk became a constant companion. I consistently perpetuated my own trauma over and over again. I sank deeper into apathy, convinced that my absence was a kindness to my children. I found myself once again caught in the cycle of jails, institutions, and death. I'm pretty sure I had a stroke in one of them pictures too, to be honest with you. By the age of 39, I had attended 23 rehabs and surpassed a count of 100 psych hospital stays. Psychiatric wards and rehab facilities became my havens, places of refuge when life's burdens grew too heavy, when withdrawal became too overwhelming, when trauma struck too deeply, when hunger grew intolerable, or when fear became all too real. I knew the system well enough to find temporary solace within those walls, using them as a means to recuperate and gather my strength before facing the world again. Alone, I felt powerless to change. It took a friend from one of my recovery groups to confront me with a hard truth. My run was over. I was the only one that didn't realize it. He pointed out the potential I had to make a positive impact and help others, if only I could move beyond my past traumas. On the day I appeared in court, the judge inquired about my noncompliance with abstinence. To my own surprise, the words that came out were raw and honest. I said, I don't know why I keep doing what I'm doing. But what I do know is that if you let me go today, and I know this, you know this, and the Commonwealth knows this, I'm going right to the dope man's house. The judge decided on a course of action that led me to a therapeutic behavioral management program within the jail. It was a challenging journey. It was only supposed to be 4 months long, but I'm hard-headed. It took 10 months to complete. You don't survive that long without being a little hard-headed. Yet it was this program that broke me down and reshaped me in ways no other had before. Upon release, I transitioned to a halfway house, engaged with the 12-step fellowship, participated in IOP, that's intensive outpatient program, for those that don't know, and embraced new approaches to life. For the first time, I allowed myself to be surrounded by the love and support of those who had walked this path before me, leaning on their guidance. The very community I once disrupted became my pillar of strength and held hope for me until I could hold it for myself. Prior to this, surviving the present moment was all I could see. Dreams and aspirations were foreign concepts. Now I know without hope, I lose the very essence that fuels my journey forward. Without hope, the world becomes a place where dreams fade and spirits wither. But with hope, every challenge becomes an opportunity and no horizon is too distant. And today my life is full of abundance of hope. My journey, thank you. My journey has been a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a true comeback story. From the depths of addiction and brinks of despair, I have risen to reclaim my life and my purpose. Since October 2019, I embraced sobriety and welcomed back the children I once feared lost. Alongside them are new members of our family, my partner who walks the path of recovery with me, and his daughter, both allies and sources of love and connection. Our family stands as a beacon of hope for others, evidence that healing is possible and that love can flourish in the aftermath of turmoil. Professionally, I've channeled my experience into a force for good. At the Virginia Harm Reduction Coalition, and we got a little table out there just so y'all know. I've achieved remarkable success in supporting people who use drugs that are affected by viral hepatitis. My work, rooted in empathy and understanding, has given me the opportunity to serve those who still find themselves where I once was. By offering a hand to uplift them or simply sit with them in solidarity, I affirm that everyone deserves compassion regardless of their circumstances. Yeah. It is through this work that I honor the potential within each individual, fostering hope and empowering them with the tools to navigate their journey safely. This comeback story is more than just my own. It's a narrative shared with every life I touch. It's a story that continues to unfold, one where trauma is transformed into triumph and where every challenge adds depth and meaning to our collective experience. So allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Courtney, and I'm a woman who has found long-term recovery. You do know me. In fact, you encounter me every single day. I am reflected in the weary individual that approaches you for change at the gas station, in the desperate mother in the median hoping to find shelter for her kids for the night, and in the frustrated man by the roadside making a statement of existence regarding his neglect. The truth of our existence is that we're all interlinked. We are all reflections of one another's journeys, each with our own struggles and triumphs. Together, we demonstrate that no matter how far we may fall, there's always a way to come back, to rise and reconnect with the world around us. Thank you.